The STEM Society.
What's poppin', people? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Before I jump into the topics today, man, I just want to wish everybody out there on the other side of this screen, man, happy Father's Day. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed your Juneteenth also. Now, that's out the way. We got two things on the docket this week. So apparently, Meek Mill feels like Akademiks is the reason why he's been losing when it comes to his sales or his streams in music. We'll touch on that later on in the episode. Right now, I want to jump on these comments that T.I. had to say about Verzuz. Now, currently, T.I. is on his promotional tour for his album Kill the King, which will drop on Friday. Now, he's hitting the radio stations, he's hitting podcasts, he's going ahead getting everybody ramped up for this new album, which I can't wait to hear. I want to see what it's talking about. But there was an interesting conversation came up while he was on the Joe Budden Podcast where he had some comments about Verzuz and it being poor people activities.
I don't want to indulge in that side of life no more. I ain't even interested, bro. Like, ain't no money over there in that shit, bro. That shit poor people activity.
Oh, hell no.
T.I.,
T.I.,
man. I'm 45, bro. I'm 45. What the fuck I'm doing going back and forth with a nigga, man? To me, in Verzuz, I don't think there are no winners and losers. Everybody celebrates the catalog. Everybody get a spike.
No, it's winners and losers.
It's been a couple losers. Everybody get a motherfucking spike. Hey, you can't watch him without watching me.
I don't think the losers come from...
You can't hear his songs without hearing, man.
The losers don't come from the music that's played. They come from the performance.
Yes.
I love the fact that T.I. said this, but he is a hypocrite. Plain and simple. Now, I hate to call people hypocrites on this channel, but it seems to happen way too much for me not to call somebody a hypocrite. Let's start off with him trying to get 50 to do this Verzuz since 2020. There is video, there's tweets, there's a lot of different things out here showing T.I. on the phone or talking in several interviews saying, I want 50 Cent in an interview. Now you've gotten to the point where you've gone through a battle or a beef with 50. You've traded diss tracks or you just sent diss tracks his way because it really was a one-sided beef. And now that your final album, your retirement album is about to drop, now it's poor people activity. Yeah, I'm not really rocking with that right now. Like, was it a situation, is it a situation because nobody accepted your challenge? Is it a situation that you feel like you just above this type of activity? Like, what is it? Because for somebody who tried really hard to get 50 to come out and play and do this whole Verzuz thing, you sound like you a little scorned. You a little upset about some shit that didn't really go your way. And I understand. Now is the time to be able to downplay it because you don't have to do the rollout anymore. Now, far be it from me to be up here and speculate, because this is all speculation. But you use the whole Verzuz with 50 as part of your rollout to put your new album out. Am I missing something here? Now, that might not have been something that you wanted to say out loud, but if anybody can see it, if I can see it, anybody can see that. You use that beef and that whole come out and play 50 as a ploy to be able to get your shit off, to show people that you still can rap. Now, I know you can still rap. Let's not sit up here and act like T.I. is not one of the best to do it. But sometimes controversy helps when it comes to a new album. It's the way of the world now. It's the way of the industry currently. I'd be lying if I would say that the attention hadn't been on T.I. since the beginning of the year because of the beef. Not saying that his music has been bad because the singles that he dropped have been fire. But it's a little bit of like waiting to see if 50 gonna answer this guy back. That gives us a little bit of hope to see what else is going on. Because it's more to somebody dropping an album outside of just dropping the album or dropping singles or making videos. It's a lot of algorithm play. It's a lot of getting more attention from different things that has nothing to do with music. You get what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot of shit going on. So I get it. I understand that when you get to the home stretch, now it's just like, man, fuck Verzuz, man. That shit for poor people. That's poor people activity. Why would I want to do some shit like that? I'm T.I., I'm the king. It just feels a little nasty that you're doing this like that. But I wasn't the only person that felt that way. Apparently, Timbaland and Swizz Beatz seen the same clip that I seen, and they got in the comments and said, huh? They were as confused as everybody else when it came to the Verzuz. So what did T.I. have to do? Clean it up.
First of all, I was drinking. My points weren't made clear as I thought that they were. I was speaking on my experience in participating or considering the participation in Verzuz. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to engage in that because my experience has been just going back and forth bickering with people for the public's entertainment, and that's not something that I want to engage in. That is what I refer to as poor people activity, not the Verzuz within itself. I just got off the phone with Swizz and I talked to Timbaland earlier. Hey, listen, man, I've never did nothing but look up to Tim and Swizz. I have the utmost respect for them and everything that they've accomplished and everything they've contributed to the culture. So, and don't get me wrong, I've gone on record saying can't nobody with me, and I stand on that. I also understand engaging in a battle of ego, going back and forth, bickering with other men. When I say it's poor people activity, I'm saying it's activity that I don't want to waste my time, effort, and energy doing.
I don't buy that one bit. I don't buy none of that shit, bro. I don't buy it. I heard what you said. You heard what you said. And it's cool that you want to stay cool with Swizz and Timbaland because them your peoples. I understand that. Sometimes we get out of pocket and we say some things that we don't mean to about our friends or what our friends are doing. But at the end of the day, you meant that shit. I don't give a fuck what I don't give a fuck what cleanup you have to do on this shit. You meant what you said, bruh. I just think it was probably a classier way for you to say it, and you just didn't have the ability at the time because, of course, you were drinking, that you just didn't want to, you wanted to say what you wanted to say. Completely understand it, bruh. Let's talk about Verzuz for a second, can we? Can we just have this conversation about Verzuz? Verzuz is about as lame as it can possibly get right now. I don't know how excited you are about Pretty Ricky versus B2K, but that's not what I think about when I think about Verzuz, bro. These last few Verzuz that have dropped here recently have been shit. You can call it something else all you want to. I'm going to call it shit. Verzuz is not relevant anymore in my eyes. Now, other people see it as a celebration of music. I see it as some shit that niggas is still trying to get over on us trying to make money. The matchups that we used to want to see are never going to happen. And the stuff that we really want out of Verzuz is just gone, bro. Like, that whole Jermaine Dupri versus Diddy thing should have happened a long time ago. And I know Diddy's in jail right now in that whole situation. I get it. But I don't know anybody who was like, hey, man, let's get this B2K Pretty Ricky Verzuz out here right now, man. I don't see the fans cheering for that. Now, if that's something that you want to fuck with, that's great. But we all know who's going to win at the end of the day. Right? Why is this thing still going? Why haven't they figured out another way to reinvent this whole Verzuz thing? Because at this point in time now, it's 10 times worse than what it was when we was watching it on our phones during the COVID era. This shit is trash. It is horrible. I am so sick of the Verzuz stuff because we're not going to get any of the matchups that we really want to see. I really want to see Wayne in a Verzuz. Can y'all make this happen? I want to see Kanye in the Verzuz. Can y'all make this happen? Where are the big stars at, bro? Where are the big heavy hitters when it comes to this Verzuz thing, bro? Because now y'all niggas is scraping, I'm not going to say the bottom of the barrel because I respect B2K. But y'all niggas are sitting here shooting dice, putting shit together. This shit is fucking garbage. I've hated Verzuz for a very long time now. And that's because it's just not what it used to be. The antics are stupid now. Once y'all did the Ray J shit, it just got out of hand and it really started looking like poor people activity. It got hood, it got ghetto, and it just got shitty over the years. And it's just something I don't want to see on my screen. And I don't watch Verzuz. I stopped watching this shit a long time ago. But at the end of the day, I never hear Timbaland and Swiss Beats talk about future plans. I never hear them say, well, we're going to reinvent this. I never hear them say anything but just announcing some bullshit and sitting back and doing some other shit. There's nothing about Verzuz that is appealing to me anymore. And I think other people should complain about it. I love the fact that T.I. said it's poor people's activity when he was on that interview, because these niggas need to know that this shit is trash now. It's lame and nobody's fucking with it. Now, I haven't seen the numbers. I haven't seen the numbers on the last few ones. I just know what podcasters are talking about when it comes to that. But until they get off of their asses and stop counting money and actually reinvent this thing to make it look better or do something better with this IP, I'm not going to support it, because I just feel like it's stupid and they don't give me good matchups at all. Sorry. Find some heavy hitters to do this, man, and get Verzuz back to what it used to be, because right now, man, it's a clown show. Plain and simple. As far as T.I. is concerned, I hope that next time you don't drink as much so you don't have to worry about what you just said and you don't have to clean up what your mess is. I really feel like, and this is just my opinion, could be wrong, but I really feel like you meant what you said when you said poor people activity, man. This shit has not been good for a very long time, and I think you see it, and you want other people to see it. That's all to say. That's not hating. That's just constructive criticism. That's how I look at it. How do you guys feel about Verzuz, man? Do you guys think that Verzuz is still something that's credible? Do you think T.I. was out of hand when he said that it was for poor people, it was poor people activity? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Speaking of poor people and poor people activity, Meek Mill got on Twitter again, and he is tweeting some nonsense that I just do not believe. So apparently, Meek Mill is pointing the finger at Akademiks for his decline in streams here recently. He jumped on Twitter on Monday to tweet this. Who is Grand Wizard? I've been hearing about you for a minute. I used Claude and real investigators to ask why my streams declined 89%. Not normal. In 2024, it pointed me to Akademiks campaign. Streams are back normal, by the way. Akademiks, we need answers. Tap in. Remember, I said we're going to follow everything because it's all documented on the net. I know that Meek and Ak are ops. I know they ops, man. I know they don't get along. They've been beefing for a very long time. I get that. But pointing at that man because your stream's going down, I think that's a little too far. Let me explain. Let's start on the academic side of things. I got notes too, because there's a lot going on with Ak. Ak has been saying that him and his team have been getting targeted because of the Akademiks TV page. Now, Ak says the guy who runs that page is nobody under his umbrella. Like, that's not one of his employees. That guy just started going off and doing what he's been doing without Ak knowing. Now, do I believe that? Not 100%, because I just don't feel like somebody's just going to take Akademiks' name and start running with it, and he doesn't figure out a way to shut it down with some of the stuff that goes on that page. Now, the guy who runs the page is called Grand Wizard. Apparently, people aren't saying his name online because you're getting struck, so I'm not going to say what his real name is. I'll just go off the Grand Wizard name. But apparently, Grand Wizard has been running a lot of hate campaigns for a lot of black artists. Now, if you are like me, you see the name Grand Wizard, you automatically think KKK. I'm from the South. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Yes, when I see Grand Wizard, I say, oh, he's one of those. So here recently, he got served with papers. People are calling it a RICO. I need to dig a little bit deeper to know what kind of papers this man got served. But he recently got served with papers in Australia because that's where he resides. That's where he's running all of this stuff out of that page from. So when Meek Mill says there's hate campaigns that's going against him, I can believe that because that Akademiks TV page has been a part of those types of activities. So I get it. But I don't really think that Akademiks himself has a lot to do with your music declining or your streaming going down 89, 90%. That's on you. You are an independent artist now. You have currently decided to be the guy who doesn't want to deal with labels anymore. I understand that. I always champion being an independent artist. I'm going to champion people doing what they need to do to get their bread the right way. All of your bread. But you don't promote shit. You might put a tweet, you might put something on Instagram, and that's it. I don't see high level of promotion when it comes to your new stuff. I don't see you really pushing the product after it drops. A lot of that shit might fall on you, Playboy. You might need to look in the mirror and say, you're the reason why my streams have declined 90%. Because you don't run your shit the correct way. How is it that you around all of these millionaires and you still don't understand the concept of being an independent artist and actually pushing your music the right way? You're not even on the algorithms when your shit drop. When I go to my page, when I go to Tidal, because I'm a Tidal subscriber, and look at the major artists that drop new stuff, your name never pops up. I'm pretty sure you can fix that. If you have conversations with these people who are in your circle, find out who's the top guy and talk to them. You don't drop full albums anymore. The last full album you dropped was Executive Pain back in 2021. And that debuted at what, number 3 when it dropped? Where's the albums, nigga? You drop EPs and singles. You've been doing that since you went independent. So how is it that you feel like somebody else has something to do with your streams going down? Now, I understand there's such things as hate campaigns, but I also understand you got to be hot in these streets for the hate campaign to work. You haven't been hot in these rap streets in a very long time, my nigga. Just being honest, you haven't been hot out here. And when we do find your music, yes, it's good, but it's nothing for us to stick around and try to listen to consistently because you don't even push it consistently yourself. So it's kind of hard for me to say, yo, man, he's got a point. Akademiks is sitting up here trying to take this man down. No, nigga, you're not doing the shit you're supposed to do to get your music out there to everybody. I'm sorry. And EPs and singles don't cut it no more. When are you going to put the budget behind doing a full album again? Just asking. Because at the end of the day, your success falls on who you are and what you do. Not on Akademiks. Y'all niggas ain't been on speaking terms since what, 2022? I'm not going for that shit. I look at Meek using this as an excuse because he doesn't know how to run his shit independently. And he hangs around millionaires. Nigga, get Jay-Z on the fucking phone. I'm pretty sure he's going to talk to you and tell you how to get your shit done the correct way. Now, when he says streams are back up, what does that necessarily mean? I'm tired of artists who pulls away from labels and then get mad because they don't have the same backing or the same following as they used to because they're independent now. That's the real grind, my nigga. That's what you get when you pull away. Everything falls on you and what you do. Now you sit here pointing the finger at somebody else, which, again, I don't think Act got time for you because he's too busy gobbling up Drake's dick. So I don't think he has time to be able to hate on you right now. But why aren't you doing or taking the steps that you're supposed to be doing to get your streams to where you're supposed to be at? Why aren't we hearing Meek Mill's name with other rappers in 2026? What are you doing to get your career back on track? Because honestly, and this is just how I see it, you kind of fell off. You're kind of not hot in these streets no more. You kind of just mid-tier, lower mid-tier rapper now. All I'm saying is when you start seeing your streams go down, it's not always because the niggas hating on you or doing these campaigns. Now, I know you got investigators and you got AI to find out this shit, but at the end of the day, sometimes it just takes you looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I haven't put an album out in 5 years. Plain and simple. Put a fucking album out and push it and promote it independently and see how that works. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, I think artists need to start taking accountability for what they do when they become independent. When you pull away from a label, it means you don't do the same shit that you've been doing. You don't have people doing it for you. You have to do it on your own. So before you start pointing fingers at the media or somebody who's in the media that you're op, look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to get my music out here? I think that was just to me, that's a heavy statement. And I think when you put that on different people, especially the media, like you kind of getting out there on a limb, bruh. And I don't fuck with that. You niggas are you are really in control of your own careers. You should be handling this shit differently. If you would put some fucking music out and stop playing all the fucking time, maybe your name will be out in the streets again. Who knows? Not gonna rant anymore about it. What do you guys think? Do you think Akademiks had a lot to do with Meek Mill's streams dropping? Do you think Meek Mill's is still hot in these streets? Do you even like Meek Mill anymore? Let me know down in the comments. Before I get out of here, I have a Cole's Corner. Didn't want to do one on Wednesday, but too much fuckery has been going on in this world. We have a repeat offender by the name of Damon Dash. He just dropped a diss track. Check out some of this heat that he just dropped.
Working for the devil. I don't give a fuck how much money the devil pays you. If you work for him, you in hell. Y'all architect in hell. I'm architect in heaven. Pause. Fuck y'all. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go.
We was looking for the Huckleberry and we're glad it's you. First we got one and now we got two. Cheap teeth, 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 cheap teeth.
We were looking for the Huckle, so happy it's you. Point him out, couldn't miss him in that stupid ass suit.
Who's in your circle, bro? Seriously. Who is in your circle that is telling you to do these things? Because for some strange reason, this ain't you. Now, I've never met Dame Dash before in my life, but I watched enough documentaries. I've read enough stuff. I've looked at the history of Rockefeller Records to understand that this used to be a person that people feared. This used to be a person that people respected in the music industry. And now, because of a breakup that happened 30 years ago, maybe less than that, who knows? You're on World Star doing a fucking song called Cheap Teeth. It's scary and ridiculous that you're doing this type of thing. What happened to you? What happened? You're the same guy that got on the Breakfast Club and said, yo, I don't have a boss. I don't work for nobody. You shouldn't have a boss. Find a way, find your hustle and do your hustle. Right? What happened to that nigga? Because this is not him. This is not that guy. Ever since you had that last interview with the Breakfast Club and you and Charlamagne had y'all back and forth, you have spiraled out of control and you have gone to the depths of hell. And it hurts my feelings because you used to be somebody we could look up to and respect as a person who held his head up high about being his own man when it came to business. And now you dancing with some white chick who I guess was a former artist of yours doing a diss song called Cheap Teeth. Bro, you have really fallen from grace. And it's sad and it's pathetic. And I hate to see that happen to somebody who I used to look up to. But this is my burial, bro. I have to lay you down in the ground. I can no longer look at these antics. I can no longer support the bullshit that you're doing. Because for some strange reason, you like being in the algorithm for the wrong reasons instead of being the person who you used to be when it came to sticking up for independence and actually trying to make money and hustle and get your grind out there and all these wonderful things you used to say. You, my friend, are dead to me now. And I can no longer look at these antics or support any of this bullshit anymore. So I lay to rest Dame Dash. I hope he's gone to a better place because you have completely killed any credibility, any respect, anything that used to be cool about you is gone. Rest in peace, my nigga. Rest in peace. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me for another episode. If you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, pay me a like, pay me a comment, support me with a subscription. Grow my platform as big as the sun so that I don't have to do songs like Cheap Teeth. Cheap Teeth? Cheap Teeth. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode, man. I will catch you guys Sunday. Peace out.
She just kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.